Hey everybody, Mr. Yago here. I'm going to go through section 3 of our cardiovascular unit, which is on blood disorders. You are welcome to use the paper copy of the note guide, as well as if you want to just fill it in digitally. And hopefully this will give you some information on how to accomplish our learning goal today, which is how to track some of these diseases that exist within our cardiovascular system. So we're going to look at different types of anemia, identify common blood disorders and diseases, and then the difference between our blood cancer. Anemia basically is a decreased number of red blood cells or hemoglobin. So we have a inability to carry oxygen, which makes us have headaches, dizziness, weakness, fatigue, as well as shortness of breath. These are all just due to the fact that the red blood cells function is to carry those oxygen. So we don't have a lot of them. It causes those symptoms. You can also have some inherited anemias, which are sickle cell as well as Cooley's. Sickle cell is probably the most common one. You can see here's a normal red blood cell, kind of looks like a donut. And here is the sickle-shaped red blood cell. And the reason it is considered an anemia is because this irregular shaped red blood cell actually causes clotting and poor blood flow. Cooley's anemia is just the inability to produce hemoglobin, which is causing oxygen carrying deficiencies. So it's more of a functionality due to the lack of hemoglobin. Jaundice is considered a cardiovascular disease. Some of you maybe have been born with this. I know I was. Feel free to ask a parent or guardian if that has ever happened to you, because it is just a yellowing of the skin as well as the eyes. And that's due to a protein which is found in our blood called bilirubin. And excess amounts of this tend to give it that yellow color. And all bilirubin is a byproduct of when red blood cells die and are recycled. So usually your liver breaks those down, but sometimes it does not happen, especially when you're a newborn. Hemophilia is a pretty obsolete disorder. It does show up occasionally, but that is basically the inability to clot blood. It is a recessive inherited trait, and that tells you why it is not very, popular or common. And usually people nowadays that have that don't usually procreate and create offspring because it does have a tendency to be passed on. More common in males, which we're going to look at today. 1 of every 5,000 births each year has it. So here's something you'll be working on today. And I just want you to be, cognizant of the fact that this particular disease, when we draw out the probability through Punnett squares, is a sex linked. So double X, 2 X's is females, XY is males. Capital H means you're actually healthy. Lowercase h means that is carrying the disease, which signifies the fact that it is recessive. So XH, X lowercase h is a female carrier who doesn't show symptoms. 2 X's with 2 lowercase h's means you have it. And then XHY, right down here, is a male who doesn't. And then XY with a capital or a lowercase h, is a male that does have it. So I'll post the video too, like a how-to video on how to do those, because that's what you're going to be working on today. Last thing we're going to talk about is blood cancers. So leukemia is cancer of the blood. You can have high numbers of immature white blood cells. It's usually the most common thing is you get a blood count and your white blood cells are off the charts. So that's usually a common occurrence of leukemia. And they end up crowding out the healthy cells and not allowing for actual function of the red blood cells. Sorry, my daughter is chasing me around the house while I'm making this video. Anyways, so here are some major symptoms of leukemia. Weight loss, fever, lungs have shortness of breath. We have fatigue, swelling, enlargement of the spleen or liver, night sweats, things of that nature. And these are all common when your blood cells are not functioning properly. The last type of cancer, which we're going to talk about, leukemia, and then the last one is multiple myeloma, and that is a cancer of the plasma. And that's usually found in the bone marrow. And because of this division of cancerous plasma, it creates tumors that basically can damage the bone. So this is I mean, it's technically a blood cancer, but in all reality, it is bone cancer, to say the least, because we know that a lot of this blood is created in those specific cells. So that should be everything you need today to fill out that sheet. Again, look for that how to do video, which will be on the homepage for you to figure out how to calculate probability. Have a great day.